Okay, our Chapter 1, Project 16 has symmetry, so we're going to use that to our advantage. We're going to keep with the optional on this, so be aware of the different techniques. We are in inches here. When I'm doing symmetry like this, we'll open up the sketch. I would like a center line, I would like it vertical, and I would like it infinite length. Okay, and then we can go into the line. We'll come over some distance. And I do want to use the radial diametral half dimension, full dimension thing, so it's not looking like I'm going to get a whole lot of that geometry. Maybe we can do a 1 there. And then drag that back, and that will go to there. All right, so we got some sorting out to do. Again, a lot of noise going on. 1 inch looks to the center. Let's go with 1.5, 1.75 is back to the center of the circle. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge as well. So let's go with the starter. All right, so I'm going to do this one without the mirror, and if I pick, I'm going to be able to go to the opposite side of the center line and get that radial dimension. Right, and then that one's going to be kind of small, so it defaulted back to the center line, so that wasn't exactly what I wanted, 1.5. And then we're going to have a distance here. We're given 2.5, so as long as I'm on that side, so 5, well, let's see, does that add up? 1 inch? 1.5, 2.5, and 3. Actually, that does not add up. So unless it's not symmetrical, which 45 degrees does not look like, there's a good possibility this isn't symmetrical. All right, so let's, that makes a little bit more of a challenge, but let's work on that assumption that the 1.88 and the 1 inch are okay. And it looks like just that bottom section. All right, so if that's the case, I could select the chain, deselect well, no, I don't want the midpoint. All right, we'll try that again. Right click, select chain, deselect the line by holding down the control button and selecting it again, selecting the geometry. Actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that one. All right, so let's mirror the entities. We know that those are in reasonably good shape. Go with the 2.5. What else are we missing here? The 0.88 is to the base, so we should be able to just pick that one. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Yeah, the holes are not 100% symmetric either, so there is a little bit of a shift. So looking at it and assuming that it was symmetric was not a good choice. All right, so height-wise, that looks like it's going to be at the 1 inch though. All right, so that gets those fully defined. Let's go with the line. And it's telling me that that's 45 degrees. I picked up a perpendicular to something. Now, based on the symmetry, I painted myself into a corner where I'm going to have to delete that one symmetry to get out from underneath that. Now, I could have checked, but because the let's see, x of 2.5 and 1, well, that one actually worked out at the 45. Let's see if that generates an error. 2.5. All right, it's working. It could have left that that point there, and it was just this segment. So um, better to work through it and figure it out than to hope for the best. All right, so 0.5, and we'll just draw a couple more. All right, so anywhere that I enter those values, I'm going to get another dimension. So let's go ahead into the smart dimension just off screen. All right, so the top one is going to be, well, and that was off of, so let's Control Z. We'll get back into the smart dimension. So the 0.88, no, 0.75. And its dimension is 0.75 as well. And then this one off of the bottom is going to be the 1 inch. And from the edge is the 1.75. And this guy is the 0.88 and 1.87. So as long as I make sure that that becomes a horizontal dimension, we're okay there. Get that one back in, 0.62, 1 inch from the top. And then let's go ahead and just do the double check, select, control button, select, 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 equal. If everything goes fully defined, then I got all of my dimensions, even though this is still on the ugly side with all of these numbers floating around. So let's see if we can clean that up just a little bit. If I need to sort it out, have that working. All right, so thickness 0.6. So features, extrude, 0.6. And we'll save this one, and we are up to 1-16. All right, let's check that real quick. And 1-16, so it gives the picture. And we'll save it and close it. All right, next one is the Pac-Man looking, the fish. All right, also in metric, so file new, part metric. Let's stay with the contours and regions on this one. All right, it looks like everything's coming off of that base, so 75 and 100. And I'm just going to hit F on the keyboard, line. All right, so over, up, up. And I'm not going to worry about the dimensions on these. We'll take that segment as it is. And we are at 10 on the first one. And 30 on the next one. And then we'll be at 55 on the next one. And do a little cleanup as we go this time. And then we're doing 10 on this depth. And what do we have? 20 on the next inside. And 36. All right, and then L on the keyboard. One more time, L. Didn't see any inferences pop up, so that's good. 40 degrees. Go between the two lines. And we have a height to that point of 38. And we could stay with the jog, or we can leave it as a full. There's good reasons to do both. So let's go with the 25. And then we're coming over 12. And the height is 5. Oop, I didn't want box selection, I just wanted select. And then we're into line. And the height on that is 10. And the length is 30. All right, so it didn't apply the relation and the dimension, which is okay. We'll go ahead and put in the 8 off of the base. Everything else looks pretty good. Let's get that out of there. And then one more on the circle. Dimension of 30. I would like this to be the linear, so let's go that way. Or the diametral. And it is 40 off of this side. And a height of 45. Go with the features, the extrude. Select the contours, thickness is 16. Oh, and apparently I drug it to get to 77. Make sure you get the contour in there. Go ahead and select it and save it. And we'll be at 1-17. All right, in the assignment, we did the 18 as concentric circles with a circular pattern. There's really no better way to do that one. Yeah, so I think we'll just leave that with the previous version, and we'll call chapter 1 good. So, just the common mistakes that are going to be made. Everybody blinks on something different. There's a lot going on with the relations and the dimensions and entering values and all the other craziness, and it just becomes part of your error checking and your workflow that you will do the reality check every so often, check for consistency, and be able to validate your geometry as you go. Our second tier is when we get into the assembly. We will evaluate again, and then when we're going through the drawing phase of making the working drawings for manufacturing, that'll be our third tier. And then we get another set of eyes to look at it and do a design review so that if there's any possibility that it can get caught before it makes it to production, any issues, any errors, any oversights, that they get resolved. All right, so work on the assignments, do the optional if it's in your time frame, and keep having fun with all these projects.